Welcome back to the Magic of Coffee.
Welcome to the show.
My name is Jordan.
I'm Alex.
As always, there's Alex. Yep. All right. We're keeping that.
Okay,
all right.
fine.
So, how have you been?
Been okay. Work sucks.
Yeah, same.
Work sucks right now. I like my job, but but it's fine.
Yeah, no. I just did like a 10-hour day, and I'm annoyed and exhausted. But it's fine. Yeah, I love my job.
Yeah,
I got
pretty close.
Servers.
I got pretty close to you. I hit 9. And like that after I hit 9, I was like, yeah, guys, I'm leaving. Like, goodbye. I will finish all of this tomorrow. I pinky swear, but I'm not staying.
Yeah.
Any longer. Other than that, how what you been up to? What you doing?
I just started my second playthrough of Elden Ring. I guess my most recent playthrough, I should say, not my second.
I still want to. So just so everyone's aware, we had to start this podcast over, and I'm still going to ask the exact same thing. How depressed are you?
Oh, on a scale of 1
to playing Elden Ring.
I had a buddy. I was playing Fortnite with my army buddies the other night, and there was like a fourth random guy. I'm not sure who he was, but he was friends with one of them, and they were just railing into me, just making fun of me and stuff like that. Normal things that go on in my everyday life. And the guy was just like, "How are you friends with them?" And then one of them, Moorfield, was like, he was like, "We help ease the sexual tension between Jordan and the pistol to his temple." And I think going forward for the rest of my life, that's how I'm going to describe, from 1 to, the sexual tension of the pistol at my temple.
Oh, man. The raw sexual chemistry between the gun in my mouth and I. Oh, my God. Well, that's good, I guess.
Yeah. No, it's fun. I'm really enjoying it. I don't know why I decided to pick it up now when, I need to finish Jedi Fallen Order.
You still haven't finished that?
Well, I beat it, but I'm again, doing another playthrough of it because the second game comes out in a few weeks.
I see.
And then I want to do another Breath of the Wild playthrough because Tears of the Kingdom is coming out. So.
I've not seen any trailers for that. I've just thought about it.
There was a 10-minute gameplay video that came out yesterday. It looks incredible.
I'll take a look at it. Probably after the show.
Mm-hmm. But I saw this question on Reddit today, and was curious what your response to it would be. Mm-hmm. Is if you could relive any moment from your life, like re-experience it again for the first time, what would it be?
Mm-hmm. There's a lot that I think I could do. Oh, I'm gonna write another one down, but I don't think it's the one. But I'm gonna say this one, but I don't think it is. So I'm gonna give you an actual answer at the end of the show. But one of my favorite experiences that I would love to relive again is the quest line. Pretty much all the quest lines with Cade 6 in it in Destiny 2. That would have been
That's a good one.
Well, because if you look this way in my room, I have 2 figurines of Cade 6 on my shelf, and I was like, oh yeah, or
because I don't think you've been to the tower recently in Destiny or really explored it, but they have a new Cade little statue up, and then you can go visit it, and there's lines from the different characters being like, oh, this is what I miss about Cade, or Cade was, blah, blah, blah. It makes
That's
you get
really
your feels all over again.
I'd cry. Yeah, I think I'll give you a real answer. Yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing yet. I'll keep pondering it. We gotta remember to do it at the end of the show.
Yes, I will make a note of it.
I mean, I already have a note of it, but yeah.
Yes, the reason we are here, and the name, most likely the name of this episode, will be How Do We Fix the MCU?
I think the name is going to be Spoilers. How to Fix the MCU. So we're about to dump a lot of spoilers.
Yes. If you do not want anything Secret Wars, Kang Dynasty, Marvel Comics and the MCU, where it's going, if you don't want any of that spoiled, this is not the episode for you. Because we are deep diving into who Kang is, what Secret Wars means, and how we think you should fix everything. So,
Now, when you say fix everything,
not fix everything. I don't know.
do you mean inside the lore, or you mean like inside like Disney?
Like inside, like how Disney, Marvel and Disney should be like introducing characters and releasing content going forward, which would expand the lore of the MCU and just like fill it out a little bit better. Because I have one big issue, I have two big issues with it, and we'll get into the first one off the bat, which will probably take the longest. But
You're a bit salty about this one.
I am, because I think this character, which this isn't anything new. Many people, like, this is the big talking point of the Marvel fan base at the moment as a whole. It's bringing Doctor Doom into the MCU. And I'm not going to be like, they should have done this like 4 years ago or anything like that. It's right now. How can they, fix their storytelling and this scattered plot lines that they have, is by introducing Doom. Like, so the next big project we have for the MCU is Guardians of the Galaxy. He's not gonna be in Guardians of the Galaxy. There's no way.
They can't have Doctor Doom and Adam Warlock be
Yeah.
you can't have those two in one.
Yeah, I know. They're two huge juggernaut characters.
Yeah, it's also like you're not gonna have two first appearances in one movie. That's just too much overload.
Is my best bet, and how I think they should do it, is Loki season 2.
Yeah. Ooh, I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, because Victor Timely, in spoilers for Ant-Man, if you haven't seen it yet, the second post-credit scene is kind of a trailer for Loki season 2, where Loki and Mobius is watching Victor Timely, who is a variant of Kang, invent, some technology back in like whenever, the 1930s or whatever that was. Victor Timely is cool because what Kang does is he goes, okay, I can't beat them today because of their technology. Let me go back in time, invent all of their technology for them so I can have control of it. So when I fight them again, I can use their technology against them.
Oh yeah, I forgot. Yeah, I'm looking at Victor Timely now.
Yeah, Victor Timely, in the comics, he's never really paid off that well, but it's pretty cool. He's a cool character. And the idea of Victor Timely is really cool. But, yeah, introduce Doom somewhere. In Loki Season 2, you have a multiversal, comedy of just bouncing around different universes, right? That's what Loki is going to be, and it even was in the first season, but now you have an actual multiverse to mess around in. Have him pop up there. Just plant the seed that Victor Von Doom is around. Because it doesn't even have to be like the main Marvel Universe's Victor Von Doom. Just he should make an appearance then. Start planting the seeds now.
I think what they're gonna do is they're gonna do an after credit scene because I know it's gonna impact both of us really hard, and I think for any other Marvel MCU fan, it'll impact them just as hard.
Oh, 100%. But a little backstory on Victor Von Doom. First appearance was in the Fantastic Four #5, which came out in July 1962, and has been a major player in all things of Marvel Comics ever since then. He's not just a Fantastic Four villain. Jonathan Hickman's Fantastic Four starts setting his character up, which that came out in 2007 and 2008, I believe, which led into Secret Wars, or Jonathan Hickman's Avengers and New Avengers, which he plays a major role in that, which we'll get to in a minute. And then he is I would say, main character, if you will, of Secret Wars. which is where he becomes God Emperor Doom and you know keeps pieces of different universes around to build Battle World, and he is the God Emperor of Battle World until stuff happens, and then he loses because he's a bad guy. Bad guys always lose. Um, but yeah, so introduce Doom somehow. I think Loki season 2 would have been your best bet. Honestly, again, we're not going back in time to be like, fix it here. Is he should have been introduced in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever as the main villain behind Namor.
Okay, maybe.
Because he, there's a big storyline where he invades Wakanda, because typically Doctor Doom is the leader of Liberia, I believe is the country's name, and so he uses Liberian, military, invades Wakanda to obtain as much vibranium as possible. And then, in a last-ditch effort, Black Panther makes all vibranium inert. And I think that would have been a really good way to introduce him, being, the puppeteer behind Namor and why Namor is invading Wakanda, slash, you make vibranium inert, which would lead into the world looking for a new super metal. And what's a super metal we all know and love?
Gent.
Well, yes.
Okay. Keep into copyright claims.
It is adamantium, Wolverine's exoskeleton.
Right. Well,
So I think that would have been a good way to start leading to X-Men, but also Doctor Doom. But I understand they wanted Namor to be his own character and do his own thing and have his own plot line, whatever. But
I have my own kind of thing. I'm looking at the schedule.
mm-hmm.
I feel like now this would be a cop out for sure. If they did What If season 2, and they had Doctor Doom in there, because they're technically introducing him.
I mean,
and then it wouldn't surprise me if Secret Invasion, if they had that as well.
Liberia is the only safe country because it's been closed off, so there wouldn't be any whatever the aliens are called, Skrull. Yeah. Wouldn't hate that.
Because it's not going to happen in Guardians. There's no way.
Yeah, there's no way it's happening in Guardians. Guardians, for the most part, James Gunn, the director, has said it's a relatively self-contained story, and it's wrapping up his characters and his story. And that not all of them are coming out of it. That's all we know. Yeah. And there's Among Us characters. And the trailer, they jump out of the spaceship, and they all look like Among Us characters, which he says is a nod to 2001: A Space Odyssey, not Among Us, but I think it's Among Us.
I know. I'm pretty sure Doom's not going to be in the Marvels. There's no way.
Nor Echo. Echo is so. This is getting into my second issue with the MCU at this point. Is because we haven't had an Avengers film to tie everything together. There's just plot lines all over the place that are just taking years to get resolved. And because they're taking so long to get resolved, nobody cares. I don't want a Thunderbolts movie with characters that got introduced in, Black Widow, 4 years ago.
It's fair.
Yeah, I'm just I have issues with it. Thunderbolts, the movie itself is cool, and the build-up it's fine. But when you have literally Secret Wars looming over the horizon and Kang Dynasty, these two massive movies, and Thunderbolts is just hey, I exist too. It's there's no weight there. I don't, and I get, these people can't be heavyweight contenders, in King Dynasty. They have no right to be there. It's just I don't know.
I think it's one of those things some of it feels like a cash grab.
Mm-hmm.
you get to resolve a character that like maybe some people back in the day like really enjoyed, and now you get to like resolve
Mm-hmm.
it. I mean, they're bringing back X-Men, which I'm glad they are
Mm-hmm.
for sure. But it's they're bringing back Fantastic Four. They're grabbing old stuff that was a pile of garbage and then making it actually like a good thing now. And so I think in order to do that, resolving like old stuff with
Mm-hmm.
plot lines is I would enjoy that they resolve everything, and then also I'm pretty sure it's a cash grab.
Yeah, and a bit of it is. The Marvels is a cash grab, right? Like I don't think anything coming out of that movie is going to be substantial enough to be like, ugh. And I get they want every character to have their story, but we haven't had, you know, between Iron Man and Avengers was 4 years. Between Avengers Endgame came out in 2019. It's 2023. Sure, we had a year and a half off, right, because of COVID,
Yeah.
because of the pandemic. We had a year and a half
Well,
off, but we're still, what, 4 years almost at this point? And the next Avengers film isn't until 2025. So
yeah, but I mean, we have a bunch of other content. I mean, they're building up,
I know. It's just.
but there's a like okay, so I understand like Thunderbolts, like I get it for
Mhm.
sure. Agatha, I get. I don't care. Like I do care, but I don't care.
Mhm.
But all that tells me is Scarlet Witch is coming back.
That, and they
Um,
could push the magical aspect of like Doom, because like part of Doom's backstory is his powers are magic, and um, he got it because his mother was a witch, and she died, and now Mephisto holds her, and Mephisto's another big player and character that they've wanted in the MCU, like fans have wanted in the MCU for a really long time.
I mean, Agatha is probably the best one to
Yeah,
do that too.
yeah.
But speaking of Marvels, I wanted to talk to you about something. And this is kind of in the same realm. This is
Mm-hmm.
actually, I think, might be a relatively okay segue. Forgive me if it's fucking stupid. Miss Marvel. I
Mm-hmm.
just finished the series. So
Mm-hmm.
I went camping. And what I love doing while I'm camping, especially when it's like in rural areas,
Mm-hmm.
relatively, I had a campsite. But I downloaded the rest of Miss Marvel and like watched the series or watched the rest of the season. Okay, so what's your opinion on it? And then also, how do you feel about the after credit scene of the series or of the season rather?
All right. I thought the show was fine. Obviously, I was not the straight white man. I was not the target demographic for that, right?
Ask me how I felt about it after you give me yours.
I wasn't the target demographic for the show as a whole. I think the little, it's a mutation, and then the X-Men '90s.
Dude, that was so gang.
Yes,
That was so lit.
it was awesome. And the post-credit scene.
That straight up gave me goosebumps. I didn't mean to interrupt,
No,
but that
you're.
straight up gave me goosebumps.
Yeah.
Anytime that shit gets like, I'm like,
It was very cool. And then the post-credit scene, her and Captain Marvel, Brie Larson swapping places, is just to set up the Marvels, um, which is fine. You want to have a fun female-led movie, like for sure. Like go ahead. Um, just make sure it's written well, and you're not, making these characters ass. Uh,
so
in your
speaking
opinion?
of writing, so the whole like India, that whole thing, like I enjoyed that quite a bit. Like because like they also implemented like a lot of the culture. I
Mm-hmm.
really enjoyed that,
Mm-hmm.
especially her suit. Her suit is lit. Like I would wear that for sure,
No, for sure.
like day to day. Honestly, maybe a little bit more black for me, but anyway, it doesn't matter. Um, but the writing
Yes.
was like just really like the villains particularly. Like I could kind of see where they were coming for, what they were trying to do, and they just didn't do it at all. Um, I kind of there's a thing about like I understand like it's one a budget, but two like you're literally just trying to introduce a character, so like I don't know, it just felt loosely planned, like it felt rushed,
Mm-hmm.
like the main villain died to do what? Close a door? It's like, okay, but then why did your son get power? It's like, why the like it just does it doesn't feel like good writing. And also like the I hope they that not necessarily fix it, but mature the main characters a little bit. I don't like the idea of like the same how I felt with Hawkeye. The whole like I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing it.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that just feels so, in my opinion, like kind of Nickelodeon-y.
For sure.
But and I think I'm the only reason why I feel that way is because I'm also referencing like look at the other strong female characters in the past. They are not like that.
For sure.
And I think if they kept that personality,
Mm-hmm.
but they were a lot stronger and like had a more harness on their power, then I think it would actually be really cool because they would still have that weird like, well, I don't know, but they like launched a bomb through their hand. Like that's funny, you know. I think if they were a little bit more skilled and then like a little bit more mature, maybe. But even then, like, I still kind of like their personality from time to time, you know. Same with like She-Hulk. Like I loved She-Hulk and everyone
Yes.
hated it.
I actually really enjoyed the show. I thought it.
You know what I found out about She-Hulk? And this is a bit of a tangent, but we'll get back. I was talking with a couple people about She-Hulk who like hated She-Hulk, and then I explained to them about like how the comics are,
Mm-hmm.
like how they like she broke the fourth wall all the time, and then eventually like both of those people that I talked to, they were like, I wish I would have known that, and I probably would have liked it a lot more. And I was like, then why the fuck are you watching it if you didn't like I get people don't nerd out like we do, but like before I watched She-Hulk, actually I didn't read the comics, and then I was confused about the fourth wall, and then I think you told me, and then I read the comics, and I was like, okay, this makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, it's the issue with pulling these more, obscure characters that aren't as like not as cool and not as streamlined. Is not a lot of people know about them, and not a lot of people know about their quirks. Like, She-Hulk. The issue is why are they doing the Deadpool thing in She-Hulk, where it's like they both have always done that. Not Deadpool's not the only person that can break the fourth wall, and Deadpool's character originally didn't do that. It wasn't until he was literally like put on the shelf, and somebody came around and was like, I think I can actually, do something interesting with this character, that they like did the fourth wall break thing with him. Like Deadpool was done; he was on the out, coming out of the '90s and the edgy, comic book era, because he was literally just a mercenary that was a mutant mercenary that was hired to kill, I think Cable. I think Cable was the big. I don't remember the exact storyline to that, but yeah. So it's like Deadpool's character changed over time to become what he is and why he's so popular. Where She-Hulk always was that. She-Hulk, she got her powers, and then due to her getting her powers, she was able to start breaking the fourth wall, and it was more of a comedic relief character. There are some weird, wacky moments with like some serious, pretty good moments with her, but yeah, as a whole, that's always been her character, and I liked it. I liked what they did with all the side characters and bringing Abomination back and keeping us updated with, Bruce and what he's up to. Now we have Scar and like his kid and like what's going on with that, and stuff like that. So,
I also enjoyed with She-Hulk, she tied a lot of things together,
yes,
which was really good.
or
the show, at least.
yes, the show fixed some continuity errors and some plot holes, which I enjoyed.
Yeah.
But my issue with the shows too is and kind of Marvel as a whole, because Ant-Man was this way, where it's like you're not watching the movie to watch the movie. You're watching this movie to figure out what the post-credit scene is.
That's what we came here for.
Yeah, and it's like,
well, to be fair, I came to like listen to the sound effects of Kang's fucking punches.
yeah, I mean, yeah, the movie, they did a really good job with Ant-Man, and I did enjoy the movie as a whole. But I'm very aware that people were like, I just want to see, the Kang post-credit scene, because they were aware that it was just going to be a Kang post-credit scene at the end, which there is, and it's dope. But there should be more than that. I don't know. I just, I have the issues, and it's like She-Hulk was the same way, where it was just like, I'm just kind of watching this to figure out what's going on with the Hulk and where he's at, what he's doing.
I was watching it because, well, so one, like I knew that this was gonna cover a lot of plot holes
Mhm.
just strictly from the trailer, or like not plot holes, but like bringing plots together.
Mhm.
Two, I find that actress extremely attractive, so of course. And then I heard a rumor that my boy Murdoch was gonna be in it. Now, did I know that he was gonna smash? No,
Smashed.
which was just amazing.
Yes.
But um, which I love seeing Matt Murdock in things. I'm excited to see the Punisher, but that's we're going on another tangent
Yeah, I
here.
know.
But
We're talking about the
speaking
things
of
we love about the
plots,
MCU. We're supposed to be hating on it. I'm just kidding.
well, the thing is that I'm worried about. So I have the
Yeah.
checklist here, like the schedule, and so Ironheart I think is going to be a one-off. Obviously, Thunderbolts
Oh.
I think is going to be a one-off. The X-Men obviously is not. It's the animated series, so they're just pushing into it.
Yeah.
Blade.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I am, as you know, a humongous fan of Blade. I rewatched the
Mm-hmm.
original first movie recently. Still good. Um, but I'm just a little confused as to, and maybe I haven't read the right comics to see, but why is he coming? Why are they making a movie?
So
Or rather, oh, it's a movie.
yeah, it's a movie.
Yeah.
Realistically, like Blade's always been a Marvel property, and they're more or less just making this because they can. He's a popular character. They want to bring him back. There's no real reason for it, and I don't think there's a real reason, like in the plot, like in the story as a whole for it going forward. Um, if anything, it's to bring in Moon. It's to bring in these weird side characters. Moon Knight. You're in the supernatural territory. Vampires.
Yep. Yeah.
That type of stuff.
Black
The
Knight.
Black Knight.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
another thing. Is like the Eternals post credit scene. Dope, right?
Yeah.
Kind of weird, but dope. And then you all you hear is Blade's voice,
Mhm.
and I was like, in Eternals.
No, it's weird. That's my issue. Is there's too much. I get introducing new characters and trying. You're laying the groundwork for the future. I understand that, but Phase 4 as a whole didn't accomplish anything. It just gave us 6 movies. Black Widow wrapped it. It tied her storyline up. So we had Black Widow. We had Eternals. Eternals is setting a lot of celestial stuff up, which I have a point on that in a little bit. And introduced Black Knight and Blade. Cool. Shang-Chi
I think
set up something. I think the 10 Rings are linked to Kang in some regard, and that might tie in with Kang Dynasty. But I don't know.
maybe.
And then the bracelets as well from Miss Marvel. Either Kang
Yeah.
or they're Kree or Skrull. I'm not really sure.
I don't think they're gonna be Kree or Crawl.
Then I don't know.
I'd have to really I'd have to look into it, and
Yeah.
I'd have to look into theories, which makes my brain hurt.
Doctor
Well, another thing-
Strange. Sorry.
Well, so there's a couple of plot lines that we have
Mhm.
here. So like the Eternals did a bunch of things for us. They gave us way too many fan theories, which was irritating, but it also kind of gave us a more understanding of who Thanos was, which was nice.
Yes.
And it gave us a little bit more about Celestials, which I'm not even sure if they're even going to bring Celestials, like if they're going to have another movie tied around that.
Yeah. I think I know where they're going to go with Eternals and all of that, but I'll let you.
What else was I thinking about? Fuck. I hate when I do this. Let's see. Yeah, I don't remember. But another thing as well that is really odd in 2024, Marvel Zombies. Like,
Yeah, it's going to be an animated
Why?
show.
no,
Yeah.
I know, but it's like, why?
I don't know, and that's kind of my issue is what we were talking about is we're just too spread out right now in Marvel stuff is what made the Infinity
Oh.
Saga work is we had a bunch of movies and things, but they were straightforward. There was a reason everything existed, to further the story and the plot, and then they brought everything together in Infinity War and Endgame, and it tied up a lot of it tied up all the major plot points, and like these characters existed for this reason, you know.
Another thing as well that's a plot hole that I'm like I hope they tell us at some point where the fuck is Vision?
Yeah, that's another. We could talk again literally for hours on this.
Well, that's one of the points, like like the plot points and like how we would change Marvel, and like so let's resolve all this. I mean, WandaVision, I get it. Loki, I get it. Like those two
Yeah,
movies because we needed to create the Scarlet Witch, and we needed Loki because he's a key point in Kangs. He's hunting
yeah.
Kangs. Like I get them, but also like
Eternals. So what I think Eternals is starting, and what I think it's going to lead to, and phase 6, 7, 8, wherever is, I think we're going to get to what they need to do is start pushing cosmically into the galaxy, which they kind of are in Secret Invasion, and maybe in Captain Marvel. Um, but Annihilation is where I think they're gonna go.
yeah.
Is Annihilus and the Annihilation Wave, because how I would prefer having multiple storylines, and Marvel did this back in the 2000s, is we had the stuff going on Earth, and all the wacky superhero stuff, but then you had the cosmic stuff. You had, the Crawl and the Kree. I don't know what
Scree.
Scree. The Skrull and the Kree, and then I forget what this other empire is, and they ended up having to deal with the annihilation, or the Annihilus and the Annihilation Wave, and they're bugs that literally just consume everything, and there's trillions of them, and there's no real way to beat them, and that's what I think the MCU should have done is, give us Earth, give us superhero stuff, give us Avengers films, give us this, singular plot line. You could start X-Men even too, right? That doesn't have to be Avengers, but you could do X-Men because they've always kind of been separate for the most part. Which X-Men aren't going to come until post Secret Wars. Kevin Feige already said that. But do cosmic stuff, do galactic things. Let us learn about the bigger picture. What goes on in the cosmos. And if the Marvels start setting that up, awesome. But I don't need 5 different plot lines on Earth that don't even talk about the blip, and what happened. Like we still don't really understand post blip. How is the world recovering post blip? There's just like small
Well,
snippets here or there. Like there were some in Falcon Winter Soldier, there were some in WandaVision, there were some in Hawkeye,
there's some
but we haven't gotten a
No Way
full
Home,
picture.
things like
Yeah, we
that.
haven't gotten this full picture and understanding, but everybody's aware that Iron Man saved the day, and it's like, what? You know,
Well, I mean, like Multiverse of Madness. We're going on another tangent again, but Multiverse of Madness. I mean, like Iron Man wasn't the one who did it; it was the Illuminati.
yeah,
So, I think like a lot of these are just different timelines, and then I think eventually everything it's gonna be another mega movie where everyone from every timeline that we've gotten shown
yeah.
just goes into one big
Well, that's
battle.
what King Dynasty. The running theory is King Dynasty is essentially going to be Avengers Forever, which
Mm.
is Immortus shows up on Earth and is like, "I'm gonna kill all you guys," and then Kang comes out and Kang is like, "Nah, you ain't gonna kill us. We're gonna kill you." And Kang is a good guy with that, and they stop Immortus, but Kang pulls heroes from across timelines in the multiverse.
I mean, yeah, that's what we had with What If.
Sure, but it's going to be more of a full scale. I would also like to see The Watcher. I love Jeffrey Wright. I'd like to see a live action version of The Watcher.
That'd be cool. I do enjoy that. Like every king that we've seen so far has been different kings.
Yes,
I really enjoy that.
and I think
Like just every single
in
king.
every Marvel property going forward, there should be a variant of Kang of some sort. He should
I think
he
they
should
will.
be seen like It doesn't have to be a main character. Just you see Jonathan Majors just in the background somewhere. That he's always present. He's always there. I think that would be a really cool.
That would be awesome. As if like he's just a cameo and he's like pretty much just a side character. Like he's not even. There's no dialogue. He's just walking.
But he's there.
You know how much money that guy's about to make.
And I think that would be really cool. And I think that's a great way to use King as a villain. And build up. This Thanos level villain, if not bigger and badder than Thanos. He's always there. He knows what you're doing. He's aware of what you're trying to do. I think that would be really cool.
Yeah, I would enjoy that. I'm excited I'm excited to see what they're gonna do with Kang, but I'm a super big fan of Kang. So
I love King as well, and I think I think King should be around. And I don't think he will be gone after King Dynasty, because. I don't remember if we talked about this, but I think they're going to use Kang instead of Doctor Doom for Secret Wars. Like, I don't think we're going to get Doom until after Secret Wars. And there are ways to do it. It kind of muddles, the issue with Secret Wars and, like, the Incursions and Avengers, Jonathan Hickman's Avengers and New Avengers is there's a lot that you have to cover and go over. The Illuminati has to be formed, and the Illuminati isn't formed in our timeline yet, in the main Marvel timeline. The Infinity Stones have to be back. There's issues there's issues because Chadwick Boseman passing, Black Panther's a main character, has a huge portion of that. He's no longer with us, and Shuri isn't really the Black Panther right now, so there's an issue with that. There's issues with
we're gonna get a lot of hate for that one. She's not really.
No, I'm not
Panther.
saying that she isn't the Black Panther, but at the end of Wakanda Forever, she, isn't doing Black Panther things as far as we're aware. Like, she is the Black Panther for all intents and purposes. It's, I don't know if she has keeping the mantle or not. I'm assuming she will, and I'm assuming we'll see her pop up in a random, property here sooner or later, but. But Black Panther has a major role in the lead up into Secret Wars. Reed Richards, we haven't gotten the Fantastic Four yet. They play a major, the Fantastic Four as a whole play a major role in the Secret Wars.
I think he's going to cameo a lot.
Yeah.
Reed Richards.
So the running theory is that they have cast them, the Fantastic Four, and that the movie itself is it's like a Lost in Time type of movie. Like, we're not getting an origin story. Like, they were just in the quantum realm, and then they bloop, they come back and they're like, oh shit.
I really hope that Chris Evans is Scorch.
Or the Human Torch. Yeah, that would be fun.
Or the Human Torch. Who's Scorch? That's a character,
I believe. But yeah, there's some cool stuff.
X-Men.
And remember, I don't think we ever really sat down and talked about it. The crazy theories of Multiverse of Madness, of Nick Cage is coming back as Ghost Rider, and all the crazy theories.
Holy shit!
That
would be so cool.
Yeah.
If Nick Cage just did one cameo of that.
Tom Cruise
is
coming in as Iron Man.
You're
like, what is going on? So.
Oh yeah, I heard about all that. I was like, why would Tom Cruise? Can he even fit in the suit?
He is relatively fit.
No, yeah.
But yeah.
No, he's just short.
That's also true.
But let's see. What else? I think we literally.
I think those were my covered most of my notes.
Those are most. I mean, that's most of my opinion on things.
We should have had an Avengers film by now. But to recap, how I would fix the MCU is bring in Doctor Doom. Start chopping these extra storylines out. Bring everything full circle. Give us a strict, constant storyline that we can follow. Consistent storyline, that we can follow, and that makes sense, and we know where we're going. Because that was the issue with Phase 4 is we don't know where we're going. Like, Ant-Man starting out Phase 5 is cool. We know Kang is here. He's running amok, and they're going to do something wacky with the multiverse in that post-credit scene.
I hope that because we're pretty much on the same page. There's so many
Mm-hmm.
different things that now I have to like look at. Like, okay, why are they here? Is it just a one-off thing? I really hope that they're throwing us for a loop, and we're just like, yeah, why are there so many? Like, there's too much going on, blah blah blah. But they have a plan for everything, and everything just like
Mm-hmm.
ties in really well. If they did that, I'd be like, cool. Bring me more random superheroes. A
No,
time
for
in like that.
sure. Guardians of the Galaxy, people were pretty scared about that when it came out. They're like, how is this connecting? Blah, blah, blah. This is so weird. And now we love that movie, and it does connect to the bigger picture. So,
Mm, the second one was
second
kind
one
of
wasn't great, but the first
weird.
one is really good.
You get to learn about that it's a celestial, and celestials can mate with humans.
Yeah,
But
I know.
other than that,
And Celestials, I also, we're not, this isn't a rant about the,
yeah. We're trying to wrap up.
I could go on for hours, the mistakes they made, and what I would do to fix it. It's fine.
um, but the so yeah, I think we hit every
I think so.
point. I think I don't I'm gonna wait till the middle of the year, and hopefully they'll show us like not necessarily like how they're fixing things, but why they're doing it the way that they're
Yeah.
doing it, and it's not just like a cash grab. Like I really hope that Blade isn't just a series that we're just gonna have. Like it would be really cool to see Blade in other things, and like he have a role. Maybe not in like the Avengers movies, but like he still has a role.
No, for sure.
But I mean, again, only time will tell. I mean, we're getting it what this year,
No,
right?
it's
Oh no, next year.
2024. Um, and it's
Which
like, and I'm
I'm
fine
fine
with
with.
like Deadpool 3 being, Deadpool kills the Fox, X-Men universe. Like, the rumor is that's what it's going to be, and I'm okay with that. It's a one-off thing. It's going to be goofy. Hugh Jackman's back as Wolverine. It's going to make like $1 billion. I'm good. So,
Yeah, but yeah, I think I think I just want to wait and see what they do, and then like if we're gonna have an MCU complaint episode, then we'll just do that. But I think we'll be pleasantly surprised because there's some like one-offs that are really
yeah.
really weird that I'm like they had to have done this on purpose for a
Well,
specific
coming
reason.
out of, the initial show push, right, of the Disney Plus shows, it was the same writing team,
Mm.
more or less, writing all the same shows. And then they said, wow, people really like Agatha Christie. We could probably do a show with her. You know, everybody really
Sure.
liked the Marvel Zombie stuff. Let's do a show about, the strictly Marvel Zombies.
Well, yeah, which is just
It
a
is.
cash grab.
You know, that's what these weird one offs are. And it's fine, but it's also like,
I would.
where's Spider Man on this list? Where's.
He's Spider-Man's coming out next year.
No, it's not.
Spider-Man, Spider-Man freshman year
That's
is
a
coming out.
show. Yeah,
Oh,
that's
the
a show.
animated show. Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
saying is like, where's the next Spider Man movie? Where's the next. Doctor Strange left us on a pretty big cliffhanger, but we're not getting another Doctor Strange movie before Secret Wars. Like, what are we doing to get to Secret Wars? Is my question, and maybe in Comic Con, San Diego Comic Con, at the end of May, beginning of June, maybe that'll steer us in the right direction. You know, maybe
yeah.
let's figure out where we're going, because I'm fine with not doing shot for shot from the comics. Like, that's okay. Endgame was completely original. Like, that does not happen in the comics. Everybody loved it. I loved it. Infinity War is a better movie, but like, whatever.
I like
Yeah.
them both. I have them both downloaded, so on
Yeah.
flights I watch them both.
Whereas like, but it's just like, I don't know. There's a little too much going on, and I think they just need to trim the fat, tighten the ship. Steer us in a direction where we know we can see the end goal. And give us Doctor Doom. That's how I would. That's how
That's
I'd
all we
fix it.
want.
Give us Doom. Give us a reason to care again. Which I guess this is mostly an
Yeah.
episode of me / us ranting about the MCU, but
I mean, yeah, that
it
was the
needs to be
intention.
heard.
Now, if we can go full circle, if I could
Mm-hmm.
relive something,
I'll say one. because it's a very
Yeah, save one.
fond
So
memory of
just
mine. Speaking of Marvel and the MCU, watching you cry like a little bitch during Endgame.
I
Yes,
didn't
you
cry.
were bawling your fucking eyes out. When Iron Man dies?
No,
Yes,
I
you
didn't cry when Iron Man
did.
died.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. I remember watching you cry, and I was like,
Oh
"What
my
the
god.
fuck?" I
Yeah,
was
you were drunk
drunk
as
as
shit,
shit.
bawling your eyes out.
Dude, do you remember? Do you remember when Captain America grabbed the hammer and got him out of
You're
my
like,
seat? And I was like, "Let's go, let's go."
no. But yeah, if I could relive one memory again, re-experience again for the first time.
I think mine was reaching the summit of my first
Mhm.
like peak. That was, I mean, that never really goes away. But there was one very very first time I actually hit a
Mhm.
peak that was in the middle of nowhere. That shit was crazy. You look around and you
Mhm.
can just see everything. That was cool. But it's a little cliche. I'm a rock climber. My first show was not something I want to relive. I had so much anxiety. I think mine was like the first watch through of Full Metal. Like
Mhm.
that's like
Mhm.
a big one. Or no, you know what it is? I watched um, I watched I can't remember which one it was because I've watched them so much. I think it was the Fellowship of the Ring. I watched that in theaters. That was
If we're gonna
lit.
do that, I think honestly, Revenge of the Sith.
See, it was either going to be Fellowship of the Ring or the
Mhm.
Phantom Menace because that was the first time I saw Darth Maul, and I'm getting Darth Maul tattooed somewhere on me. That
Yeah,
guy
I
is
love.
lit.
Obviously, still love Episode 3, and I would watch that movie 100 times if I could.
Yes, this is an MCU episode, so can you? We gotta wrap it up.
Watching Avengers for the first
But
time.
yeah,
No.
dude, yeah, that was sick. Dude, my first time watching Avengers, I hated it
That movie has not aged
because I
well.
was that movie. No. I love that movie. It was, and I'm not gonna name the company, the movie theater that I went to, but they ruined it for me because the guy kept taking orders in front of me, and I straight up like out loud to everyone, I was like, "Dude," and he was like, "Oh, sorry," and I was like, "Yeah." Like he first did it when Thanos is fighting the Hulk, and then he did it again, um, right when Strange and Iron Man were like about to fight the children of
Mm.
Thanos. And he did it one other time, I can't remember. And he just ruined the movie. And so I had to go
Mm.
rewatch it somewhere else, which I went to. I'm not going to name names, but it rhymes with Jalamo Gast House.
I don't know what that is.
And that was a way better
I had to
experience.
throw my hat away. I don't have a different hat. So this podcast is going to experience me growing my hair back. Along, you get to experience that with us.
Yeah,
At the
I'm glad that I'm
shit
not doing
show
it
that
alone.
is my hair, and being too poor
Yeah.
to be able to afford a haircut. That's why I shave my head.
Well, I really, really think that you should just. We'll discuss it later.
Yes.
We got to wrap this up.
Thanks for listening and or watching. If you could drop us a like on YouTube. If you can follow us on the Magic of Coffee on Instagram, and that's the only social media platform we have.
It's the best one.
And what?